The last 12 months have been, I guess, pretty amazing when it comes to my success at the crease. For me personally, I think I've obviously been able to do really well and I guess have a lot more consistency too. And I think, yeah, it's just a matter of me really trying to spend time at the crease, but also when I get in and know that it is my day at the crease and I'm having a few out in the middle of the bat, just try to cherish that and make it a really big innings rather than falling a bit shorter. The vein of form kind of started over in Pakistan. We had a 3-match ODI series against them and I was able to score 200s and get my highest ODI score as well. I think it's 141 or something like that. And yeah, that kind of kicked it off, having a really good series there. And then we went over to India at the end of last year. And yeah, it was an up and down series for me. I had 3 matches, 0, 106, 0. So really up and down there, but yeah, still able to get the century. When I did get that century in India, I did have to fight it out a lot really early on in my innings. I think I was 5 off about 20 balls early on, and yeah, I kind of had to just grit it out a bit until things started flowing a lot more. I think when you are at the crease, and yeah, you are trying to get a big score out there can be a lot of pressure sometimes. I think for me, especially when I start my innings, that's when I feel the most pressure, but at the same time, when I do get flowing and I do get into a rhythm a bit more, yeah, I do feel things kind of relax a lot and I just kind of let my natural game take over, I guess. When I am on 80 or 90 or even closer, I just try to play the same way that I've been playing the entire innings and not change anything too much. I still want to be free and I still want to play my shots, but obviously just being really careful with my hand at the same time. I think my hardest century was probably my very first one, just the nerves and everything that comes about with it, but I was at home in Barbados as well. So having all my family at the ground, all my friends watching, being at home in such a big occasion, I was definitely very nervous as a young 18-year-old. So I did have to battle through some really tough periods against a really good South Africa bowling lineup as well. But yeah, thankful that I got over the line and yeah, that kind of kick-started a run for me too. I think my favorite century that I would have scored is probably a T20 one against Australia in 2023. Obviously a massive game, chasing down 200 plus and a historic night. So I feel like that one definitely is at the top of the list for me. I think for myself, I kind of set goals before every single tour and a lot of the time that is to get 100 or 2 and just to stay really consistent with getting runs as well. But yeah, for sure, I think looking at the year and how much ODI cricket we have especially, it is a really big opportunity for me to get some runs under my belt and hopefully get a lot of centuries as well. So yeah, I would love to be able to get at least 1 century in every series we do play for the year. I think I just try to have my plans really strong before I do go into my innings. I feel like especially over the last 2 years, I've worked really hard on getting stuff sorted off field, like my plans and the way I do want to build and go through an innings. And I think when it does come to the day of the match, try to execute that as best as possible. It's always really good to play in the West Indies first and foremost, but yeah, then being able to perform is even better as well. But yeah, just getting to start the year off really hot, getting a century in really early with a team win too is obviously really special.
And there it is. It's a century. You can hear them. They've enjoyed it. They've loved it as Hayley Matthews, the captain, has graced the situation of the CG United first ODI with a century. A match-winning performance indeed.
The last few runs that I had to get for the 100 against Bangladesh, it was pretty tight because we were chasing 198 and I think probably when I had about 5 or 6 more runs to go, I think the team only needed about 15 runs. And Shemaine Campbell had just come into bat with me as well. But from the minute she came in, she gave me a knock and she said, look, let's get you this 100. So it did get pretty tight. I think I still needed 1 or 2 runs to go when we needed 4 runs. But yeah, luckily I was able to get strike on the last ball of the over, take it over, get a single, and face up the first ball to get the 100. As a captain, you always want to go out and set a really good example. Unfortunately, I've been able to get some runs since I've been captain and I guess lead the team in that sense. But yeah, I feel like it does pull on the girls. They've obviously stepped up a lot so much in the last few years, and it makes my job 10 times easier when they're playing those roles as well. I think when I talk about the future of West Indies, I think just about how much I love playing for West Indies and wearing the badge on a whole. So I do see myself playing for quite some more time, and obviously being the captain of the team right now, I do enjoy leading a lot, and there's so many new girls that have come in who are hungry and want to play and want to be out there. So I think from a team's dynamic, we are moving forward, and I enjoy that, and it's probably a reason why I want to be around still and why I do plan on being around for so much longer as well.
Today I've come down into the bowels of Bridgetown to Wesley Hall Junior School because this primary school has produced an extraordinary amount of cricketing pedigree. Adrian and Raymond Griffith, there's Roston Chase, there's Kyle Mears, there's Rivaldo Clark, there's the Quinton sisters. No, we've got to discover what's happening here and how they've produced so many. You ready? Yeah, you want me ready too? Aline, what are you doing here?
You mean what are you doing here? I went to school here.
Really?
Yeah.
Aline. So what are your memories of school here?
Just playing cricket out here at break time, lunchtime. Probably some of my fondest moments.
Tell me a bit about this. First of all, who were you at school? What kind of character?
Probably a fun-loving cat character. I think probably was a little naughty at times, but who knows?
And you used to run about a lot, or you were inside studying?
No, outdoor a lot.
Yeah?
Always wanted to be outdoor, but still spent some time in the classroom as well.
And what kind of memories come back? What was your schooling like? What comes to your mind when you think about it?
I can remember right here where I used to buy my lunch right under the tree. I had a van right here that I used to play, and how can I forget my first class 1? Right there, was in there with Miss Mullin. Yes, she had something called Flat C.
What's that?
Dare not to cross her. It was looking big. Yeah. Near Flat C. Yeah. Oh my goodness, beating back.
How's that?
Hi, good afternoon.
This was her old classroom, so we just came to have a look.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I want to hear the whole story. How did you end up from this little school in the back of Bridgetown, hard to find, down bare one-way street, to the West Indies cricket? How you even got into cricket?
Funny story. I guess just growing up with my cousins, we played everything. I think I came here, got introduced to Richard Clark, played cricket right up just across the road from there, Passage Road. Played a lot of cricket. Then I was introduced to the team in class 3. I played for a while. Then I played right to class 4. I think I took a break first form and focused on football. But the funny thing about that is I got a call from, I think it was Kaisia. Kaisia calling me, telling me Pat Greenwich want me to play cricket. They're setting up on the 19 team and if I would be willing. But I was so focused on football, I wasn't sure about that. I think I went like 1 or 2 training sessions and still wasn't like interested to that extent. And then I think Pat Greenwich had told me, and Richard Clark too as well, because I think when Kaisia had mentioned my name, Richard Clark had said yes. As he called me Lily, he was like, Lily, she can play cricket, but she chose football. Up to this day, I think that's the story he tells some of the children, that I chose football, but if he can put it himself, he think that I probably would have been playing for West Indies years before then. But I think things is happen for a reason. I won't change my path. It lead me right here, and here we are now at my old school having an interview.
You chose football, but cricket chose you.
Yeah, definitely.
We brought along the big hitting Kiana as well, because they're besties, huh? So along for the ride. Tell me a bit about your debut for the West Indies. I mean, that must have been a big moment.
Yeah, if you had asked me 2019, I would be debuting for West Indies, I would have probably struggled because prior to that, I wanted to take a break from cricket because I've been playing for a while and coaches been saying that I have the potential, I have the talent, I should be playing for West Indies. And I remember getting a phone call from Shakira saying that doing some netball against Australia. I remember I told you that I was going to take a break.
Yeah.
And it was like, whoa, I won't know if I will ever have a chance to bowl at Elise Perry, which was a big role model of mine, and my landing and those kind of guys. So I went down to Kensington Oval, I bowled. I kid you not, I wasn't training as much, so I was fatigued bowling. And I remember the coach saying, do you want to take a break? And I was like, no, I'm fine. But
This time you mash up.
I mash up, right? And they said, no, I'm fine. I was home just watching TV normal. I remember I got this phone call. And I think it was Josina calling me. And she was saying that, no, sorry, Miss Brown calling me, telling me, like, you have been selected for camp. And it's like, and it went silent. I was like, what? Seeing pick up your phone, seeing the same with me. They not invite me to camp. And I remember my mother said, see what I tell you? Things is happen for a reason. And it don't happen before a time. I remember I was sitting in the room because it was time for selection. And we had to meet individually with Gus and Brown. Never forget it. And I went in the room. And they told me, oh, you have been selected to represent West Indies. I remember it was a surreal moment. And getting my cap from Pony Watch can't get no better than that. You understand?
What a story. What a story!
That DeAndre cousin. Look at your nephew, like. We at Wednesday Hall. Proper left hand seam here. If we got rope, he ain't early. Tell Alex hi. Look at Alex.
We're boss. We miss you, man. How are you? We miss you so bad. We miss you so bad. Get better soon.
Yeah, right. Definitely. We ain't meet at CPL.
Good.
Alright. Oh.
So, Aliyah, how has your role as an all-rounder evolved in the team? Now you're a more senior member in the team.
Yeah, I think I had some discussions with the coach, not trying to tell too much about our secrets. It's something that I have been comfortable with. I think I have been flexible for the West Indies team wherever they want me.
That's brilliant. I don't even think we've seen the best of your batting yet. What is the one area of your game that you think you have to work the hardest on and that you've been trying to improve the most?
Yeah, I think I have worked a lot on my onside, but it can get better. I think we have the footage out there, so it's no secret. I love the offside. Yeah, and we have talked about playing to our strengths. So regardless of what, is respecting the good balls and just playing, as we say, the safe force, because we're playing ODI at the moment. But it's just something that we've been talking about, and having our average, something that we have been talking as a team.
How do you, when things get really overwhelming, how do you stay grounded?
Yeah, that goes back to my support system. I have a core of friends, and I speak to my mom every single day. Like, every single day. Like, I'm 30, but I don't feel like right after I don't wake in the morning and talk to my mom. And we talk about some of everything. So I should basically say she's like my best friend. And then I have a core of family and a core of friends who also play cricket. So it's easy to bounce a lot of stuff with them. Like the likes of Shakira Salma that you were in the booth with. Like, when I do have a hard time or
Yes, good morning and welcome to the Arnoldville playing field. We are here for round number 2 of the CWI Women's T20 Blaze. We had action on Tuesday, 3 games played. And we have the first game today. Barbados will be taking on Jamaica. Barbados won their first game. Jamaica succumbed to the Leeward Islands in their first fixture. And it's a good morning from me here in the commentary box. Alan Secrukshank. And here with me is Miss Stacey Ann Adams. Good morning, Stacey Ann. Yes, and the Barbados women's team, they won the toss. Skipper Aline, she elected to field first. And her squad is Aliyah Aline, Trishan Holder, Asabi Calendar, Shanika Bruce, Alison Gordon, Ebony Brathwaite, Thiani Herbert Mears, Shamilia Connell, Nijani Cumberbatch, Keela Elliott, and Shakira Selman. Who is playing for Jamaica? Yes, both squads showing confidence in who they started with. They would say to themselves, well, we started off with who we think or we thought was the best 11, so we'll continue with this in this game. As you mentioned, opening up the batting, Shada Williams. She'll be on strike along with a very experienced nation.
To score as much in that first game, was dismissed for 4 very early on. But something that Jamaica will be looking to put to right, they had 66 dot balls in that first encounter versus Leeward Islands. So Nijani Cumberbatch opening the bowling. She had good figures in that first game as well. 3 overs, 2 wickets to her name, 12 runs. So
yes, she'll be bowling to Williams. The 2 fielders out are deep mid wicket and a deep square leg. Lovely day here. You can see the footage from ITFX here at Arnisville in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. One of the most picturesque venues in the world. And it's a lovely day for cricket. Wonderful sunshine bathing the ground. And a cooling breeze as Cumberbatch comes in. It's short. Williams just guides it down to third, and with its feeling, and they get through for a single. So the Jamaica team up and going in this fixture. As you mentioned, they really were in the pole position in that chase against the Leewards. But one of the things that impressed us about the Leewards in that first game was the intensity in the field. So they were able to apply pressure all the way throughout those 20 overs, even when they were behind the 8 ball. It's a loud appeal, and she's out. Given there by the umpire. Nation, she was forward. That one struck her on the pad. And that's a massive blow. Yes, that one turned back in. And the umpire says, well, you're out of here.
yeah, Nation scored 48 from 51 in that first encounter versus Leeward Islands. Perhaps was hoping that she can build on that and get to that half century. Unfortunately, she has to go back. First delivery straight, plumb in front though, looking to turn that one to the onside. Unfortunately, she couldn't get bat on it, and umpire nodded in the affirmative. And first strike for Barbados. What a good start. Nijani Cumberbatch again picking up an early wicket for Barbados.
Yeah, she was a bit short on the first delivery, but adjusted her length. And that's a nice delivery. Real, probably more turn than Nation may have expected from the first delivery, from her second delivery of this new ball. As Bryce comes out, Abigail Bryce, to replace Nation. Coming in for her first game of the tournament, so
yeah, just to make a correction from earlier on, Janelle Dares, she's actually out and Bryce is back in. So in fact, not an unchanged 11 for Jamaica.
Some bounce and some turn. And Cornbash really is into her work.
It's good to see the confidence given to her from the Barbados unit opening up the bowling, especially what happened to her against Jamaica last year. But Henry isn't here. She went for 54 runs in that game last year when they faced Jamaica, courtesy of most runs coming off the bat of Chanel Henry. So it's good to see the confidence given to her. And you've seen some growth in her game, the areas that she's hitting so well.
The fuller delivery driven firmly. Misfield there by Herbert Mears. Allowed them to get through for the single. So I was about to say that she has been immaculate with her line and length, with the exception of the first delivery and that one just over toss a bit, half volley. But Bryce not really taking full advantage with the placement.
Yeah, and her pace has been good as well. It's been very slow and tempting.
That's the end of over number 1. Jamaica women having been inserted to bat. They are now 2 for 1. Williams on 1 not out and Bryce is also on 1 not out. Cornbash 1 for 2 off her first over. He mentioned that she has been given a very large responsibility, a weighty one, as a young player, but I think that they see something in her in terms of her ability. She also is good with the bat and a very good fielder as well.
Yes, a very technically correct batter, someone that you'll be looking forward to seeing in West Indies colours in the future. Hopefully she continues to build on her skill set, and in the near future, Alanson, hopefully see her batting and bowling in that maroon.
So it will be Alison Gordon, as usual, to opening from the backway end. She'll be bowling to Bryce. The two fielders out are deep square leg and a sweeper on the cover boundary. This one is short, it's pulled. Should be cut off by the fielder that deep square leg. Yes, she does so now. Keeps it down to 1. Maybe not getting the contact that she wanted. We'll be disappointed with not putting that one away.
Yeah, Abigail Bryce, another one of those bright future stars, just like Nijani Cumberbatch played in the under-19 tournament as well. She always shows intent when she's batting. That's one thing you can look forward to from her. She plays a lot of shots. Sometimes she hits the fielders, but I'll be looking forward to seeing how she has advanced in terms of maneuvering and manipulating the gaps in this contest.
So wide delivery from Gordon, called by umpire Abbott.
Yes.
This one is full driven straight to extra cover. No run. Seemed to be a bit of a slow delivery there from Gordon.
Yeah, operates at a slower pace. Usually gets the ball to move away. Sometimes she gets it to move back into the right-handed batters as well. So get some good shape to start. Alison Gordon.
Driven uppishly, not timed. Again, the extra cover fielder comes into play.
Yeah, she was coming on with a straight bat on that one, but you did see the late shape away from Alison Gordon on that delivery, so that's what you'll get from her. It's a good start. Had just bowled 2 overs for 10 runs in that first game, no wickets, but miserly still in the context of that competition.
Another swinging delivery from Gordon. And she's operating at the right end. You mentioned that she does get the ball to move away from the right hand, and the breeze will aid her in so doing. As you're looking at your screen now, it's blowing from right to left. Short again, punch, but straight to the field at the sweeper cover position. Selman does the fielding, keeps it to 1. So they're getting some scoring opportunities, but I've really been able to find the gap to maximize them so far.
Yes, it did start, but don't think Jamaica will mind batting first here, given how they faltered in that chase against Leeward Islands. It's a chance for them to build a score and just have a look at what their bowlers can do at the back end. So at the end of 2, Jamaica 6 for 1.
It's again more of that characteristic outward movement to the right-handers from Gordon. Barbados will be pleased so far with their start, going at only 3 runs per over. They were able to get over the line in their first game of this competition. Close games, all 3 of them. Korbash continues to Williams. To Bryce, actually. Driven firmly. That's actually not a bad attempt there from Connell. It's an awkward bounce. She was able to get her body behind it and prevented it from passing, because anyway it passed her, she wasn't chasing it down. So, Skipper Williams back on strike. Fuller delivery, driven but not timed. Bowler does feeling to her own bowling.
It hasn't quite found her timing just yet. Rashada Williams, who mentioned the first half of the calendar that the West Indies women have this year. Someone like her will be looking to get her name back in the frame of the coaches and the selectors. Rashada Williams. So this tournament could only do good for her if she's able to push on and get some scores to her name.
It's a quicker, flatter delivery there from Korbash. Kept it out. So she's varying her pace nicely. So, a few uppish shots being played. None of them going to hand just yet, but could see that they're not quite in sync, the batters from Jamaica just yet. She's punching this one to extra cover. Just gets it wide of her and they're able to complete a single. So dealing in singles so far, Jamaica 8 for 1 in the 3rd over. So 1 delivery to go. I think the team that really avoids having too many dot deliveries in this competition, that will be the team that will come out victorious, I think. Because we have seen that there have been quite a bit of dots in the first round. As over number 3 comes to an end, Jamaica, they are 8 for 1. Yes, that dot delivery discussion, Stacey Ann.
Yeah, it continues to be a talking point because it's what we've been seeing game after game. And I look at the WPL that's currently on right now. Henry, Dutton, Chanel Henry. Hope they go well in that tournament. They've started quite well, all 3 of them. But I recall a game, Gujarat Giants versus UP Warriors Women, the first game that these 2 teams played. UP Warriors had more boundaries than Gujarat Giants. But Gujarat Giants, they won that game. I'll continue after this delivery. They had less dot deliveries than the UP Warriors women. So yes, boundaries are very important, but you see you can win a game if you somehow concede less dot deliveries than the other game. I think they had 10 or so less dot deliveries than the UP Warriors women, despite the fact that they had more boundaries than them. And they won that game. I think UP Warriors lost by about 10 runs or so. So you see the difference the dot deliveries can make.
I'm not saying that the boundaries aren't important. Of course, if you can score boundaries at will, then in an extremely good position in this format of the game. But that is not the case. So because the boundaries don't come so frequently, you have to really ensure that you're scoring off the deliveries. Not a dot delivery there.
Yeah, and the dot deliveries obviously builds pressure, and then a poor shot might ensue, and then the team is then in another precarious position, more so than they are right now. So it's essential that you find a way to keep scoring runs, keep picking off the gaps and getting singles.
Slip in place. Full delivery, driven down the ground. Could have time for one. That's all there will be. Not fielded cleanly by Connell, but doesn't get past her.
Yeah, I think Connell will say I've done a good job so far by not allowing these deliveries to pass me. On 2 occasions, she managed to get down, not fielding cleanly, but still managed to save a boundary.
It's another short delivery. What hit straight to the fielder, short fine leg.
Yeah,
so they are getting deliveries that they can score from, but neither are they dispatching them to the boundary, and they're not even getting them in the gaps on some occasions.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. The precision has been lacking so far. Haven't been able to get the placement of the loose deliveries, and the good deliveries are smothered. So it's been tough going so far from Jamaica.
This one is punch over extra cover. This will go to the boundary. That's short, that's wide, and that is 4 runs there to Abigail Bryce. Ends it over for Jamaica.
Yeah, much better. Got the width, got the hand, the width to free her arms, got it over the infield, which was so important. And again, beating Shakira Selman on the boundary. It's an area that she favors. Abigail Bryce, Jamaica woman, they move on to 13 for 1 after 4 overs.
So Bryce now up to 8 of 9 deliveries. Williams struggling a little bit, 4 of 14. Strike rate of about 30 or so of every 100 balls. So she would not be pleased with that, so she needs to get going as a skipper. Combash will continue with her probing line and length.
Yeah, Rashada Williams, she has the ability to go up and over the infield. I haven't seen her played any shots like that just yet.
As you mentioned, she goes for that slug sweep. Seems to have come off a bit of an inside half of the bat. So it goes down to the field square on the boundary.
Particularly over the offside. I've seen her play that shot a number of times successfully. I haven't seen her attempt that. The infield is up. On the offside.
Down the ground, and this would be a boundary. Bryce freeing her arms. And that was a lovely shot. Just going over the bowler's head for 4.
Yeah, width again and off. And Nijani come about. She knew it right away. She wasn't pleased with that delivery. Getting in good position, nice stride into it. And got it to the right of Shamilia Connell this time. So looking in good form so far, Abigail Bryce. The intent is there to score, and that is so important. A good showing from the young lady so far.
Looking a bit more positive in her intent than her skipper. Skipper probably thinking that she needs to bat through, but even if she's aiming to do so, she would want to score off as many deliveries as possible. See how Combash responds. I think an adjustment in line is definitely needed. Closer to the batter. This one is a full toss down the leg side, another boundary. So overcompensating both in line and length. And she was dispatched easily there by Bryce, who is looking in good touch.
Yeah, overcorrection, certainly. You saw the after that 4 was struck previously, the skipper wanted to send back long off, but she said no. I'll keep the 2 fielders up on the offside, tried to get it straighter, but much too straight on that occasion. And now another field placement. Slip comes out, Alia Aline goes into fine leg. Just straying a bit too much on the leg side on that occasion, Nijani Kamabach.
That's where she wants to be. That's the line and the length that she wants to be. Just hitting the top of off.
Yeah, better from the bowler. And also you see Abigail Bryce thinking, yes, somehow I can make this into a run. just needed to open the bat face a bit more to get it closer to point or cover.
That's what she attempts to do off the next delivery, but she's beaten outside the off stump, so better line and length from Corbash. One to finish the fifth. One delivery to finish the fifth. Over.
Okay.
So shorter delivery from Corbash. They're looking for the single, but it's not on. Brings 5 overs to an end. Jamaica 22 for 1 after 5 overs having been inserted by Barbados.
Yeah, 22 for 1. Abigail Bryce looking in fine form. Her skipper has yet to really find her rhythm in this game just yet, but someone we hope will find his rhythm right away. I'm joined by Kesrick Williams. Good morning to you, Kesrick.
Good morning to you, Stacey. Mention rhythm. Normally, I find my rhythm as soon as I get out of bed. Walk straight to the kitchen, get a glass of water, apple cider vinegar with that and some lime. Yeah, that's how I usually start my morning to get the engines kicking.
Engines are oil, it's greased.
Yeah, usually. I use good engine oil, Stacey.
The expensive stuff, huh?
Yeah, that would be liquid molly. Free advertisement there.
Well, a change of bowling. Alison Gordon is replaced by Shamilia Connell. Much more experience. We expect to see her hitting the deck harder. Some more bunks. Right away, hitting that deck hard, getting that length. Abigail Bryce unable to place it in the gap. But good signs so far from young Abigail Bryce, you must say.
Yeah, I like what I'm seeing from her. Being able to find the gap. She sweeps the ball nice. Anything that is coming down on the line of the leg stump, she offered that sweep shot, open up the offside nicely. So it's good that they have someone like her in the batting lineup that can sort of bring back some comfort into the batting lineup of Jamaica.
And Rashada Williams dropping and running a really good single. That is good. More of that is needed. Bit stall at the wicket so far. If you are able to just drop quickly, nice soft hands as she did there, and get a single. More of that is required if you can't get the boundaries away.
Yeah, you mentioned about the singles and how important it would be, especially in this tournament. You also mentioned the Women IPL, and I really think that was good. Because if you realize a lot of players in this tournament, if they don't try to get the boundary, they lock off in terms of the singles. So it's good that Jamaica is making that effort to get the singles. This is really good from them.
Continue to see the intent from Abigail Bryce. You don't mind that shot too much. Width was offered. She got in good position, just did not connect because the fielders are up on the offside, and it's an area that she's favored so well so far in this innings. Just squared her up a bit there, but able to get some bat on it. Bryce. Yeah, bit change of pace. You see from the angle of her hand there, Shamilia Connell, something that she's introduced, but we mentioned it, and she changes that pace. She still manages to get that bounce.
It was well played as well by Williams, opening the face, realizing both those fielders at backward point and cover is on the circle. So There's always an opportunity to get a single there if you play with soft hands.
Yeah, a lot of it offered, a lot of it, and the outstretched arms of Maria Abbott confirms it. So they get an extra, but Abigail Bryce just not letting up anything wide. She's throwing her hands at it.
Yeah, Barbados team, when you look at their team, probably one of the team that has generated the most fast bowlers in the tournament. There's Connell, skipper in Ali. Also gone, but that's a good shot. Over point. Opening the face. No intention to play it on the gong. She was definitely looking for a boundary and did a fine job in getting it.
Yeah, lovely touch there from Abigail Bryce. You see her opening the face at the last moment and intentionally getting it over. That area of the field has been a productive area for her so far, and she continues. That is the end of the power play as well. Jamaica 30-1 after 6.
Yeah, not a bad way to finish the power play, getting a boundary. But what is good is the fact that they lost a wicket in the first over. Nation, who scored 48 in the last game, losing her wicket in the first over. But in comes Bryce, and the confidence in which she has been playing with is really showing us that she's the type of person that knows how to keep momentum. They do have another batter in the hut that Barbados would be very wary of or mindful of. Stephanie Taylor. Over 5,000 ODI runs for West Indies. So we know what she's capable of. So with this kind of momentum that Jamaica is picking up, Barbados will have to do something, and somebody that can really do something about that will be this person with ball in hand, Alia Ali.
Yeah, the skipper has seen enough. She's decided to introduce herself. And Alia and Rashada Williams. Almost a chance there. Shanika Bruce running in. But Rashada Williams has decided she's going to take on the skipper. Just a bit of misjudgment there from Shanika Bruce running in before. Really, she should have just stayed to take that catch. But a chance goes down nonetheless.
Yeah, she was looking a little bit scared there, Bryce. But looking to get the boundary off the first delivery. Change of field now. Shakira Selman has been asked to go out there on the boundary. The most experienced player on the field for Barbados. Yeah, I realized something with Williams. She's trying to get that boundary early and then take it around.
Just working that one off the hip and getting a single. Well, you saw it that way, but I think that's really the first shot of intent I've really seen from Rashada Williams in this match. And I was saying to myself, before that shot, she was 7 off 18, and I'm thinking, you don't want to waste this start. You've already accumulated a number of deliveries. Now she has to try and bat very long and take some pressure off of Abigail Bryce by just walking the ball around. And this is a good start for her, Rashada Williams. And the start that Abigail Bryce has as well is also, you mentioned Stephanie Taylor, has taken a lot of pressure off of Taylor to come. Nice. Oh, wow. What a shot. Straight back. But Alia Alin gets in the way of that. Loving what I'm seeing from young Abigail Bryce. Just 19 years old. Nice straight bat. Aerially, yes. But you're seeing the aggressive intent from the youngster. And I'm sure West Indian fans all around the world will surely be loving this, no matter what side of the fence you're on.
Yeah, definitely. She definitely looks like the aggressor. It's a slight mistake there. Thanks for the correction, Stacey. It was actually Bryce. She is the aggressor. She looks to get a boundary. In almost every over she play. But just another single there. Looks like a leg by.
Yeah, you saw the way Ebony Brathwaite came out. We'll see her later on with the bat in that first game against Trinidad. So, two youngsters, Ebony Brathwaite, just 16 years old, and Abigail Bryce, 19 years old. So good to see the young person stepping up and taking some pressure off their elder stateswoman to come in that of Stephanie Taylor.
She's one of those female that is packed with a lot of power, plays the ball nicely down the ground is Stephanie Taylor. So if both batters at the crease now can take it to at least say 13 to 15 overs, laying that platform, it's only going to do well for Jamaica with the batting to come. Someone like a Waysam who can hit the ball a good distance. That one just shifting down the leg side a bit. And that's it. That is what she have. She has that delivery that sort of goes into the pads of the right-handers. And you could see her intention going a little bit wide of the crease as well. Looking to angle it in. So this is good work from Alia Alim, but the score is now 37-1.
Yeah, 37-1. 2 drop chances, you say, going down in that over. We saw the drop catches, how important it is to hold your catches. That old adage of catches win matches will always come back to haunt you. Shamilia Connell herself was dropped in that game versus Trinidad and Tobago, and she went on to hit the winning runs. Rashad Williams and Bryce both have been put down in that previous over. Can they capitalize on those missed opportunities now? Shamilia Connell to continue. Nice to see Trishan Holder just getting the angles right in the field. She was the skipper last year. So good to see that she's still taking up that role in ensuring that the angles are right, being the keeper.
Looking at the Jamaica captain, Rashada Williams, there's a lot to like about her in terms of her technique. Sort of play each ball on the merit. Yeah, a little bit wide, cutting that one out to the fielder out there and sweet boundary, just a single. Really playing that role for Bryce now. Looking to get the singles. And Bryce is really the aggressor.
And just tucks this one off her hip, but still a very agile looking Selman gets in the way, gets to her right quickly and picks it up nicely. But yeah, this period of the game, we've seen a lot of teams sort of fall flat in the way they should approach it over 7 to 15, the middle period of the innings. Wide delivery on the leg side. But a number of teams kind of get stalled, looking for boundaries. The field is out now. So it's a great indication that, hey, it's easier now for me to pick up a single because there are more gaps in the infield. But a number of teams still manage to pick out the fielders. And in so doing, we mentioned the number of dot balls that have been accumulated in this tournament so far. Trying to go up and over, but gets it to square leg. Asabi Calendar is there to do the cleanup job.
Yeah, and that's what's important, Stacey. That middle phase of the game, when the field is now spread and you have to find that gap. And more than half the time, the scoring rate drops between 7 to 15 overs or so.
There's a stifled appeal, mainly so by the bowler and keeper. And umpire Maria Abbott is not having any of it. And at the end of it, Jamaica women 39-1. Yeah, a bit high. Yeah, a bit too high. They are probably going down leg as well. You see from that replay. Yeah, usually at this point in the game, most teams introduce a number of spinners as well. But what we are seeing here from Barbados, because of the number of paces that they have, and experienced paces as well, paces are operating and seemingly a little bit more favorable for the Jamaican batters. Yeah, they're playing their shots. Abigail Bryce going up and over again. Don't think this will get to the boundary. Nijani Comerbatch gives a chase and does exceptionally well, pulling it back and keeps it to 2. She's going to take on the fielders, continue to take on the fielders, Abigail Bryce.
Yeah, I like the way how she's batting. She's not really finding the gap all the time, but you could see that effort in terms of how she wants to score. Looking to get over the infield. Umpires just looking at this again. Yeah, it's good work. Good work from her. And pulling it back just probably about 5 inches away from the boundary.
Nice. That's really nice from Abigail Bryce. Just opening the bat face, nice soft hands, getting it to the left of Keelia Elliott. So this is what we mean when we say scoring intent. It doesn't just mean getting a boundary. It's finding ways to score, and that just then was a perfect example from Abigail Bryce. Full toss, and that will be dispatched. Poor delivery served up from skipper Alia Aline, and Rashada Williams, who was looking for something to feast on, finally gets one, and to great effect also to compound the woes of Barbados and Alia Aline. It's also a free hit.
Yeah, I like how Bryce is batting, but just I want to stick a pin on Barbados team for a bit in terms of the field placement. Yeah, there's a third man, deep sweep, and a fine leg and square leg. Now for batters, especially female batters, whenever they're trying to go for big shots, they always go through mid-wicket. Yeah, free hit, going down again, through mid-wicket. This time, yeah, bouncing a couple of inches in front of the boundary for another 4.
Yeah, it was short of a good length from Alia Aline, and it was always there for the taking because of the free hit and the same batter on strike in Rashada Williams. They are unable to change the field, so it was easily done there. All she had to do was get back onto it, and it was, in fact, dispatched. Another boundary for Rashada Williams, who has started slowly, and that's what we were saying. Doesn't make sense to throw away a start. Started slowly, now she's picking up. So this is good from Rashada Williams. Spent time in the middle, and now is able to cash in on some loose deliveries being served up to her.
Yeah, we looked at her last year for Jamaica. Played a vital role for them. And we're seeing that this year again. Occupy the crease. Gets herself in. This one just flicked out to square leg. And I just want to continue on that point. Now there's a change of field. There's no mid-wicket being employed. So there's a square leg mid-wicket and a long on. Asking that sweep fielder and that third man fielder to come up, which makes a lot of sense, because whenever batters in the Caribbean look to go for a boundary and they're trying to go hard, the bottom hand takes over. So it's always gonna go to long on or mid wicket, so you need to have fielders in those positions.
Yeah, the line and length will have to be precise as well from the bowler. Alia Aline, she is an experienced campaigner, and you've seen that she's continued to maintain that middle to leg stump line, bowling to her field. So this is good from her. But if she errs too much on the offside, it'll be fraught with danger, because we have seen the propensity from Abigail Bryce to go over the infield and through the covers very well. The last ball remaining in this over. It's been an expensive one so far. Oh, nice short delivery. Surprising one from Alia Aline to end that over. 52 for 1 at the end of 9.
Yeah, good delivery. Good work from Alia. It was a slower delivery going into the pitch, and then that added bounce. So great skills from her. Looking at the field now, it's more leg side dominant. Fine leg, deep mid, square leg, and long on. Stacey did mention the Jamaicans, they like the pace and they like to go over as soon as you give them that bit of width. So probably just bring up that fine leg, probably use that third man or that sweep.
Yeah, they have added 22 runs in 3 overs, Jamaica. Pacers were operating. Now this is the test, Tiani Hobart Mills. If she's able to be accurate here, we may see Jamaica stall a bit. But as I said, it's a test now for the batters to see what their approach is to the slow bowlers. The Tiani Hobart Mills offering up some width. A diving Alia Alin is unable to stop it. And Shanika Bruce trying to get a boot out. She is unsuccessful as well. So a 4 to start. So this is good from Richard Williams. Cashing in now and some loose deliveries.
Yeah, it's all about occupying that crease, get that momentum. Now we are seeing Williams scoring easily to the offside and the onside. They're trying to do some football work. They haven't heard of a Bajan that is good at football, Stacey.
It has to be tighter, Tiani Hobart Mears, and is so much tighter there, and that's where she needs to be operating. Yes, we've seen both of these batters. They have the ability to sweep. So perhaps that's an option that Rashada Williams will be weighing up if she continues with that length. And right away into action, the sweep shot comes out, and Sabi Kalinda does well on the boundary to keep it to 1.
You can see a momentum shift. And this is good from Jamaica. Stacey rightfully mentioned 22 runs in the last 3 overs. So all they have to do now is to continue. Lofted over the top. You could see no intention to try to get it to the boundary. Just hitting it over the bowler, just for a single.
And Shamilia Cornell again, not clean, but she manages to stop it. Does a job for her team. Really good hand there from her, sticking out and stopping that from being any more runs. There is an appeal, but just by Tiani Hobart Mears. So, as I mentioned, I want to see the approach to the spinners. So far, it's been really good. I'm liking the intent still being shown, putting away the bad deliveries as well. So we've seen throughout this tournament, the lack of place can really put the brakes on teams in the tournaments. And that brings the over to an end. 6 runs coming from it. Jamaica woman making a good recovery in this game after losing that first wicket of Shadeen Nation. They are 58 for 1 at the end of 10, and we will also have a drinks break as the players refresh themselves.
Yes, so we're back here at the Arnisville playing field. Just had a short jinx break there. Also someone who is back in the comebox is Alanson Crookshank to take us to this next 5 overs or so. There's a change of bowling as well. Shanika Bruce has been introduced.
Yes, good morning to you, Keswick, and good morning again to our viewers.
Yeah, good little session here just before that jinx break for the Jamaica team. Yeah, this one just chipped out to mid-wicket, just a single. 29 runs now ever since the end of the power play. So which means 4.2 overs or so. Both batters have scored 29 runs, which is good for Jamaica, Alanson.
Absolutely, they have really put the pedal to the metal, so to speak. So we see the approach from the skipper. Sort of a lot of deliveries at the beginning, but beginning to motor along now in our innings. It's a dangerous approach because if you get out, if she had gotten out when she was 7 off 18, then they would have had a look at her in terms of the dot deliveries. She's well set now, punching that one down the ground. And she's in a position where she can now dictate the rest of the innings. And they still have Stephanie Taylor to come.
Yeah, which is good. Trying to lay that platform for the most experienced player in the Jamaica team. Both batters now looks more in control, finding the inside edge, a thick inside edge, can get to the boundary. Yeah, good work from Gordon. Picks up 2. We make mention earlier about rotating the strike between that 6 to 15 overs and trying to score when the field is now spread. We realize the effort being made to try to score runs within that power play. The average score within the power play from the first day. Yeah, trying to go through mid-wicket and get through well, but that taker inside is just going through fine leg.
Yeah, that's an effective shot there by Bryce. This one just a bit short and on the pads, staying inside the line and just whipping it just past the fielder there, short fine leg. Gordon, who was able to cut off the previous one, but this one was much better timed and able to get a boundary away. Bryce goes up now to 33. Good innings from her.
Yeah, trying to go through mid-wicket with that one, but just finding the outer half of the edge. Passing the field at fine leg in Gordon, no chance for her. Another boundary for Jamaica. Elliott being introduced now. Leg spinner. She needs to find her line today because both batters looks like they're in now, and you would usually find Elliott bowling that loose delivery. You always find her bowling that full toss, and she takes her time to get settled. This one just pull out to square leg, just a single though. What do you make of Kelia Elliott and her leg spin?
I think there's a lot to work with. I think she's bowling a bit too late though. That's my personal opinion. As a leg spinner, you're the attacking bowler, so you want to be on not necessarily when the opposition is attacking as much. You want to be able there to prize them out before the batters get set. Because you don't want your leg spinner to be thinking defensively when they are supposed to be a wicket-taking option. So I think probably trying to introduce her around the 8th or 7th over might be best for her.
Yeah, going down the ground is Bruce. Did she get enough on it? Yeah, easy catch for her. Yeah, celebration city for Elliott. You mentioned about the leg spin and how they are in terms of picking up wickets, and she came in and picked up a wicket for Barbados. Trying to go down the ground is Bruce. Yeah, just find more air than distance.
Yeah, just slightly hitting across the line. Would have been better serve, trying to go over long off. Very good catch by Cumberbatch. Usually excellent in the field. But you see what I mean in terms of the wicket taking. Now, hypothetically, let's say that she had taken that wicket 2 or 3 overs ago. That may have made a difference to the game. So you have to think, especially when you're bowling first, as Barbados are, not necessarily know what is a good score. So you're trying to always have the batting team under pressure. I think those overs that when they came out of the power play, you mentioned that they scored about 30 or so runs in 4 overs. That little period of time, the pressure was not on them. Defensive bowling is what they were facing, and the field was spread. So they were able to maximize that little period. Will that come back to affect the outcome of the game? Who knows? Maybe Elliott will get a 4 or 5 from this position. Who knows?
Well, Stephanie Taylor is at the crease. Somewhat a platform laid for her, 67 for 2. With a batter of her caliber, I expect that she would continue from there. She's with skipper Rashada Williams. But that little innings, I'll say, that little innings from Bryce really set the tone for Jamaica. And I must commend her on that innings. She came in and she played her game. Yeah, that full delivery that I was talking about. You get it ever so often, probably in every over you get that from Keelia Elliott. That is something I think that she needs to work on. Try to get that full delivery out every single over that she bowls. She always toss up that full delivery.
Yes.
Yeah, sweeping well is Williams. Out to the field at square leg.
Yes, that's something that we have seen in her bowling, and that may be one of the reasons why she's been introduced a bit later, was they do not have as much confidence in her in terms of her line and length. But I think it can work the other way. If you bring her on earlier when there's less pressure, it can also help her in terms of that confidence. So that's another way of looking at it. There are always 2 sides to a coin. But she has taken a wicket in her first over, Kesrick.
Yeah, and that's definitely what the Barbados team wants. You want one of your strike bowlers to come in and immediately create that opportunity to get a wicket and get that wicket.
I think what they will dearly love now is to separate these two. Other than Nation, these are the 2 most experienced of the batters for Jamaica. You know Stephanie Taylor's caliber, and the skipper is there with her as well.
I'm just wondering why the change in terms of using Tiani Herbert Mayers at that end, the airport end, the old airport end, because she's spinning the ball 2 right-handers at the crease. It is easier to go to the Michael Finley Pavilion. The ball is spinning into the right-handers. For me, that's a free swing, and then it's going with the breeze. I was probably wondering why they're doing it. Would prefer to see someone like a Elliott bowling from that end and let them try to hit the ball in the wind. Yeah, punching is Taylor out to long on. Would it go to the boundary? Yes, it did. Just timing. You can see just using the crease well. Allenson coming back on the back foot. Yeah, you can see it here. That ball coming in nicely, but the experience of Stephanie Taylor using the crease nicely and punching it too short mid-wicket. Yeah, should have been saved, but really good shot. For the shot alone, she would have gotten 4 for me. Or she should have gotten 4.
So showing her class and experience, just punching that just wide of the long fielder. We would have thought initially that that's 2 and really should have been cut off by Aline. She would be disappointed with that effort.
Yeah, she deserved every bit of that boundary just because of the technique and being able to use the crease, the experience of Stephanie Taylor. Yeah, going big again. Easy catch for Selman. That's the reason why she's placed out there at deep mid-wicket. Yeah, fuller delivery this time from Tiani. Just think that she was really not in the position to hit it, but she got enough baton to it to get it to Selman out there at deep mid-wicket. Yeah, another wicket down for Jamaica.
Yeah, the placement as well. If you were in the gap, it was fat enough that it would have been a boundary. But probably better serve just looking to get it in the gap. And the timing we saw from Stephanie Taylor earlier in the over that it was sufficient to get it to the boundary. So the outfield is fast. So once you get it into the gap, you stand a chance. But then again, going straight to Selman, who was never going to drop that one. So another very important wicket here taken by the Barbados women team. You know, I've seen the back of the skipper, Rashada Williams, for a well-played 31 as Scott replaces her at the wicket.
Yeah, Tiani Herbert Mayer picking up that wicket, and what a time to do it as well. Yeah, we spoke of having the right fielders in the right position, and this could be another singler again. Yes, it's 2 now. Yeah, stealing a singler then. Not good work from the keeper. Scott looks like she's making extra steps to get to the other end. Obviously, she's a bit shorter, so it's more steps. It's like doing a yo-yo test with Jason Holder. Yeah, full toss again, sweeping it out to the square leg boundary. Just a single. And I mentioned Jason Holder, Alan says, because I can remember doing yo-yo test with the Jason Holder. When you are making 30 steps to probably get to the other end, Jason is making about 21 because of how tall he is.
Some advantages of being tall, but there are also disadvantages.
Full toss again. Just hitting it out to square leg, just a single. Projected score is up to 117. We are yet to see a team scoring over 110. Early downs. Getting the singles pretty easy, Stephanie Taylor.
One thing you're noticing from Elliott, I've looked at the last 2 or 3 deliveries, while she's over-tossed them, they seem to have a sufficient amount of dip. So the batter just has to watch them just for that split second longer. So on some turn on that one.
Pushing it out mid-on again. Not a full delivery, but just a single to end things off for Elliott. The score is now 81 for 3.
It's 81 for 3. 3 full tosses in that over from Keela Elliott. Didn't really dispatch them, the Jamaica pair at the wicket, but he was sufficiently miserly in that over for a leg spinner at this stage of the game. You mentioned that you haven't seen a score in excess of 110 so far in the tournament, and I think that today In this innings, you might see that for sure.
Nice work by Scott. Playing it with that turn, just running it down to short, fine leg. This is must commend the ground staff on the pitches that they have produced in terms of the bounce. Loud appeal from Tiani. Not interested is umpire Crawford, but yeah, stick a pin with the pitch in terms of what the ground staff here have been producing. Good bounce, good turn, and for the pacers, get good carry. Batters can play through the line. Looking for a second run. No chance.
Bruce does the feelings. Has a fairly strong arm, so there was really never two on there.
Playing with the turn again nicely. So the fielders on the onside doing most of the work, which they should be.
Yeah, what you're seeing from Scott is what we'd have liked to see maybe in the initial stages of the game. In terms of just knocking it around. He's looking quite busy. The intent is always to score. Maybe not necessarily to play the big shot, but she's looking to rotate the strike for sure.
It's very important from here now how Jamaica finish the innings. Try to finish with a momentum, but hitting it straight to the fielder at silly mid-on. Just chipping it straight to the fielder, slower delivery, giving it a better air. Stephanie Taylor trying to get a single. Yeah, but too much back this time. Hitting it straight to the fielder at silly mid-on.
Yes, it's what you call a soft dismissal, but you'll be surprised that straightish, shortish mid-on. How many times the right-hander chips the ball there upishly when you're facing the off-spinner? Just because of that little turn that catches the inner portion of the bat. And sometimes the feeler is not there, so you must credit them. You must credit the Barbados think tank for at least having the feeler there, that shortish mid-on. As Stacey Adams joins me now in the commentary box as we will finish off this innings today.
Yeah, usually it will take a bit of brilliance to get rid of someone like Stephanie Taylor. We mentioned the experience and the caliber of player that she is, and that was a bit of captaincy brilliance. I recall the 4 that she hit in the gap. They plugged that gap, perhaps thinking about saving runs, but instead it resulted in a wicket, just turning it into the hands of the batter, and one might bring another as Trishan Holder gets under that one, and Lena Scott has to go back. And again, we mentioned the introduction of the spinners and what usually transpires when they get their hands on the ball. 84 for 5 now, Jamaica.
Yes, while off air in that period, just at the end of the power play, I was almost clamoring for the spinners to be on. And it's, that they are really taking advantage of conditions there to some extent. There is some bounce on off, and I think the bounce at the end of the day, those 2 last wickets have been because of the bounce. Taylor was just not able to get over it, and that last sweep, a top edge from Scott.
Yeah, not an ideal time to lose another wicket, back-to-back wickets in fact, for Jamaica. But you look at the contrast here in the innings. When Abigail Bryce and Rashada Williams were batting, they managed to score 22 runs after that power play period. 3 overs after the power play, they managed to score 22 runs without a loss of the wicket. After the drinks break, 5 overs after, spinners introduced 26 runs and they've lost 4 wickets.
Yep, and Krishana McKenzie comes to replace Scott. Joins Wilmot, who has not faced the delivery as yet. So second wicket now to Elliott. Now has 2 for 9 off 2.1. It's flighted and driven down the ground by McKenzie. A slightly built left-handed McKenzie reminds us of Cork McKenzie.
You're not the first to have said that, Allenson.
She's off the mark, just lobbing it over the short mid-wicket fielder. And and she's gonna get away with it. Where was Wilmot going?
Yeah, that was danger. Wilmot coming back for a second. Krishana McKenzie not interested at all, and Killia Elliott unfortunately wasn't able to gather cleanly at the non-striker's end, or else that would have been curtains for Kate Wilmot.
Yeah, but the throw was already on its way when she was coming back for two. So very dangerous. Maybe a bit of nerves from young Wilmot. One is lobbed straight to the fielder at the short mid-wicket. That straightish short mid-on. Another wicket in that position. Again, it's a key position in limited overs game against the spinners. A lot of deliveries are played uppishly in that area.
Yeah, and Barbados there capitalizing on that. Perhaps the knowledge of some of the older fielders, experienced fielders, I'll say, on the field. That one turning away from the right-handed batter, of course. You expect that from the leg spinner, and Kate Wilmot just offering up an easy chance for Shakira Selman. She could have caught that with her eyes closed.
Yes, a bit of a leading edge. And when you are playing on a pitch like this one, it seems to have just a little bit more bounce, especially to the spinners. Then you have to be very intentional about getting over the ball when you're playing. Once you're not to the pitch of it, you have to be very, very intentional. As
yeah, all wickets so far go into the spinners in this contest.
the new batter comes out to face. Ooh, that's some turn and bounce again. New batter is Waysome, Nishan Waysome. So Elliott's really looking, even with those full tosses occasionally, bowling some very dangerous deliveries. That one coming on straight. Just want to see the replay, see if it was a googly. Or maybe just a top spinner. The batters have time for two. So it ends the third over. Well played by Waste. I'm just waiting to look at it off the pitch and playing it softly in the vacant third area.
Yeah, what I'll say of Jamaica, because of the partnership between Bryce and Rashada Williams earlier on, they've found themselves in a position where they can easily go on to score 100, 110, which from what we're seeing on the surface, some bonks, we mentioned seeing some purchase for the spinners as well. They can be in the contest with that sort of score on the board. From what we've seen in the tournament so far, that is. Kesrick already mentioned no team has been able to reach 110 so far.
We also saw Barbados chasing a similar score in their first game, so they will also be confident if the score is in around that vicinity. They were able to chase 90 odd, a target of 98 against Trinidad in the first round, and having quite a bit of overs left as well. I think about 2 overs also left. There's some bounce and turn on that one away from Mackenzie. So it's a lovely spell here by both spinners. The two main spinners, I would say, for Barbados, although Cornbash opens the bowling. That these are the two that they'll probably look to take more wickets in the middle period. Seem to have a nice bit of timing, a bit of a gift of timing. Mackenzie just needs to find the gap. Ball seems to be leaving her back nicely. And another one, some bounce, some turn. And Herbert Mills, she's really enjoying her bowling here. Look at that, lovely delivery. Score remains on 87 for 6. This one coming off the edge. They have time for a single. The fielding is done by the fielder at short third, Gordon. So 88 for 6.
The change of end has worked for Tiani Herbert Mears. She came at the commentary box end for her first over. It was a bit expensive, but since the change, she has managed to pick up 2 wickets, and importantly, that big wicket of Stephanie Taylor.
Played through to the deep square leg region by Waysome. Bruce is the field out there, Shanika Bruce. Keeps it to a single. 19 overs, 19 deliveries left. I'll ask you at the end of the over, Stacey, and how many do you think Jamaica will get to from the 19 deliveries that are left? Another lovely delivery, angled in, some turn, some bounce away. And that is the end of Herbert Mears' spell. She has bowled 4 overs and taken 2 for 17.
Yeah, a wonderful spell by the young lady, Tiani Herbert Mears. You mentioned her first over went for some runs, but she has come back well so far, getting those 2 wickets of Rashada Williams and Stephanie Taylor. So certainly done an exceptional job for her team, bringing them back into the contest, along with Keelia Elliott, who is about to bowl her last over at this end. And you're asking about the amount of runs I think they'll get to. I'm thinking perhaps 100, 105 from here on out.
Waysome does seem to have some power, so maybe she can get away a lusty blow or 2 to the boundary. Elliott will be looking for her 4th and maybe her 5th wicket. I did say at the beginning of her spell maybe she'll go on to take 4 or 5 wickets today.
She has a 5 as well in the T20 Blaze last year. Picked up 5 wickets against Trinidad and Tobago. Was introduced quite late as well and broke that partnership of Rachel Williams and Brittany Cooper was going so well and went on to pick up 5 wickets. Has 5 more deliveries to get a 5-er.
Nicely played there by Mackenzie. Just using her feet, getting to the pitch, punching it down to the field and long on. So good batting. .91 for 6 is the score. One is short and pull, but not in the gap. Should only be 1. Again, Waysome is the one who looks like she might have the power to clear the boundary. But so far, she's been kept in check.
Yeah, I think Waysome and Christiana McKenzie, of course, if there's any bad deliveries in this over, they'll try to put it away. But this is her last over. As they just tuck this one into the onside to pick up a single. So you'll want to say to yourself, okay, she has 3 wickets so far. How many runs can I get off the next 2 overs where quite possibly, unless Shakira Selman decides to just turn her arm over as she did in that last game, one of them will be a pacer. And we've seen that the pacers have been more expensive in this game so far.
That's something I alluded to as well earlier. That it seems as if the Jamaican batters were enjoying the pace. And that's going all the way down to the boundary. 4 byes.
Yeah, that will certainly help them. Jamaica, extra runs to their name. 105 now is looking good, perhaps even more, with that sort of assistance from the bowling team.
So there's 1 delivery left in the spell. Ooh, and that's a lovely delivery. Look at that turn, look at that bounce. Going out across it was Waysome. Ended up missing it by quite a distance. It really would have been better served looking to go over extra cover. And at the end of 18 overs, Jamaica women there 97 for 6, having been inserted by the Barbados women.
Yeah, that one ripped across the right-handed batting Waysome. We're good enough not to get an edge onto that one. But has certainly finished an exceptional spell, Keelia Elliott. brought her game back into the contest. All another number of full and short deliveries, but the batters weren't able to capitalize on it. But in between, just like that last one we saw, some really magic deliveries, you'll say, from Elliott. 3 overs to her, 3 wickets to her name to finish her spell. 2 overs remaining. Nigel Kamabatri know the next spinner that they have in this contest. So as I said, unless Selman, as she did in that last game, just come and rolls her arm over, the last over will be to a pacer. So Kamabatch to finish our spell.
Turn and bounce. What a delivery. And there's a generous covering of grass on the square. And when the seam hits the grass, it will turn. This one is whipped. Full toss, just whipped through square leg. Time only for 1 run. Up to 98 now, Jamaica. This should be the over for some. She'll be hitting if she seems to have a preference for the leg side, so she'll be hitting with the wind to the leg side. May have the opportunity to get a boundary or 2 to propel her team. Kambash, I know, will be aware of that. We'll be looking to restrict her scoring in that region. This one is down the leg side. We're waiting for signal. No signal from the umpire.
Yeah, she's looking to bowl that very straight line. And I'm seeing that fielder out on the cover boundary. Haven't seen Waysome attempted to try and hit it to that side of the fence so far. So they will be better served perhaps to just plug that gap between mid-wicket and long on. That's where she's aiming.
It doesn't seem like she'll be going out to sweep a cover, as you mentioned. Had an opportunity with a shorter delivery on that last delivery, but missed it. Short again. And that's the shot that we were looking for. You could almost see it coming. It hit the boundary balls on the full, so that's 6 runs to Waysome. Fortunate to have not been dispatched of a few deliveries earlier in the over, Kambash, but that one she was able to make connection, and Waysome, powerful hitter.
Yeah,
6
that's
runs.
what I'm saying. You need more coverage on the onside. She's gonna go again in that direction. Luckily, she picks out the fielder. So that fielder there, Sahabi Kalinda at sweeper cover, was definitely wasted in that over. More coverage there, perhaps you may have had a chance because the field is so widely spread on the onside. 7 runs coming from that over though. They're now up to 105. So they'll definitely should get more than that. So now takes it up to about 110.
Yeah, should get beyond 110. So that will be the first score beyond 110 for the tournament. So it should be an interesting chase for the Barbados team when they come out to bat. With some on strike, she'll be batting against Connell. The matchup in the last over really favored her, especially based on the end that she was batting, hitting with the wind to the leg side. You saw that pull that she executed went quickly to the boundary. In fact, hit it on the full. Connell to finish off the bowling for Barbados. Former West Indies bowler. Straighter line.
Yeah, I would say she got away with that one. There's no one on the fine leg boundary. Just a bit of bat on that. We'll have seen runs for Jamaica. But you can see what she's trying to do. Those 3 deep fielders are on the boundary. On the leg side, you have long on, mid-wicket, and someone just in front of square. So she's trying to keep it very straight. No one sweeping on the extra cover boundary. Trying to tuck her up for room. Fine leg now goes back. So you will expect her to be operating on a much straighter line and length, Shamilia Connell.
This one just a bit too straight down the leg side. Not signal wide. That might be a bit generous from umpire Abbott. Let's have a look. The guidelines are there. No, that one should have been signal wide.
That should have been signal wide because we're looking at those two lines very close to the stump, and that was outside of that.
This one again should be another wide.
Not called wide again. That's very interesting. A slower delivery from Connell. Ways up trying, looking for the sweep shot. He's got away with 2 wides in the over so far.
This one is a much better delivery. Almost getting the wicket.
Well, I know I predicted 105, but you're doing a good job of keeping it just to that, Alanson. 2 more balls remaining in the over. Hasn't been able to get baton to ball. Should have had 2 wides in the over from our vantage point at least.
Misses that one again. They're able to take the leg by. So we after connecting the previous over, this team was comfortable against the pacer. Just one delivery left, 106 for 6. So just the last delivery being bowled here now by Connell. Mackenzie's on strike. This one is a good shot. Excellent shot there from Mackenzie. One bounce over the boundary. It was a slow delivery. It was picked. And she charged down the wicket. Made good contact. And that's an excellent shot. And a good way for the Jamaica team to end off the innings. They end on 110 for 6.
Yeah, lovely way to finish off the innings by Krishana Mackenzie. Something to take back to the dressing room. Mention momentum. And that over, yes, just 5 runs from it, but they managed to get up to 110 runs, 111 for victory. Barbados, job done early up with the ball by Keelia Elliott, Nijani Kamabach, and Tiani Herbert Mayers. Only bowlers to pick up wickets in this match, all going to the spinners.
Yeah, so there you have it. When we come back, the Barbados women, they will need 111 runs to win in 20 overs in response to 110 for 6 from the Jamaican women. We'll be back in about 10 or 15 minutes or so with the reply.
The last 12 months have been, I guess, pretty amazing when it comes to my success at the crease. For me personally, I think I've obviously been able to do really well and I guess have a lot more consistency too. And I think, yeah, it's just a matter of me really trying to spend time at the crease, but also when I get in and know that it is my day at the crease and I'm having a few out in the middle of the bat, just try to cherish that and make it a really big innings rather than falling a bit shorter. The vein of form kind of started over in Pakistan. We had a 3-match ODI series against them and I was able to score 200s and get my highest ODI score as well. I think it's 141 or something like that. And yeah, that kind of kicked it off, having a really good series there. And then we went over to India at the end of last year and yeah, it was an up and down series for me. I had 3 matches, 0, 106, 0. So really up and down there, but yeah, still able to get the century. When I did get that century in India, I did have to fight it out a lot really early on in my innings. I think I was 5 off about 20 balls early on, and yeah, I kind of had to just grit it out a bit until things started flowing a lot more. I think when you are at the crease, and yeah, you are trying to get a big score out there can be a lot of pressure sometimes. I think for me, especially when I start my innings, that's when I feel the most pressure. But at the same time, when I do get flowing and I do get into a rhythm a bit more, yeah, I do feel things kind of relax a lot, and I just kind of let my natural game take over, I guess. When I am on 80 or 90 or even closer, I just try to play the same way that I've been playing the entire innings, not change anything too much. I still want to be free, and I still want to play my shots, but obviously just being really careful with my hand at the same time. I think my hardest century was probably my very first one, just the nerves and everything that comes about with it, but I was at home in Barbados as well. So having all my family at the ground, all my friends watching, being at home in such a big occasion, I was definitely very nervous as a young 18-year-old. So I did have to battle through some really tough periods against a really good South Africa bowling lineup as well. But yeah, thankful that I got over the line, and yeah, that kind of kick-started a run for me too. I think my favorite century that I would have scored probably a T20 one against Australia in 2023. Obviously a massive game, chasing down 200 plus, and a historic night. So I feel like that one definitely is at the top of the list for me. I think for myself, I kind of set goals before every single tour, and a lot of the time that is to get 100 or 2, and just to stay really consistent with getting runs as well. But yeah, for sure, I think looking at the year and how much ODI cricket we have especially, it is a really big opportunity for me to get some runs under my belt and hopefully get a lot of centuries as well. So yeah, I would love to be able to get at least 1 century in every series we do play for the year. I think I just try to have my plans really strong before I do go into my innings. I feel like, especially over the last 2 years, I've worked really hard on getting stuff sorted off field, like my plans and the way I do want to build and go through an innings. And I think when it does come to the day of the match, try to execute that as best as possible. It's always really good to play in the West Indies first and foremost, but yeah, then being able to perform is even better as well. But yeah, just getting to start the year off really hot, getting a century and really early with a team win too is obviously really special.
And there it is. It's a century. You can hear them. They've enjoyed it. They've loved it as Hayley Matthews, the captain, has graced the situation of the CG United first ODI with a century. A match-winning performance indeed.
The last few runs that I had to get for the 100 against Bangladesh, it was pretty tight because we were chasing 198, and I think probably when I had about 5 or 6 more runs to go, I think the team only needed about 15 runs. And Shemaine Campbell had just come into bat with me as well. But from the minute she came in, she gave me a knock and she said, look, let's get you this 100. So it did get pretty tight. I think I still needed 1 or 2 runs to go when we needed 4 runs. But yeah, luckily I was able to get strike on the last ball of the over, take it over, get a single, and face up the first ball to get the 100. As a captain, you always want to go and set a really good example. Unfortunately, I've been able to get some runs since I've been captain and I guess lead the team in that sense. But yeah, I feel like it does pull on the girls. They've obviously stepped up a lot so much in the last few years, and it makes my job 10 times easier when they're playing those roles as well. I think when I talk about the future of West Indies, I think just about how much I love playing for West Indies and wearing the badge on a whole. So I do see myself playing for quite some more time, and obviously being the captain of the team right now, I do enjoy leading a lot, and there's so many new girls that have come in who are hungry and want to play and want to be out there. So I think from a team's dynamic, we are moving forward, and I enjoy that, and it's probably a reason why I want to be around still and why I do plan on being around for so much longer as well.
Yeah, welcome back to this competition between Jamaica women and Barbados women. Jamaica scoring 110 for 6. All 6 wickets going to the spinners in this contest so far. Barbados women have 111 runs for victory. Interestingly, Jamaica women, they accumulated 2 more dot balls than they did in the first game. They had 66 in the first, only managed to get up to 90-something runs. And now with 110 runs on the board, they still managed to accumulate 68 dot deliveries. So perhaps if they are able to score off of just half of those deliveries, could have had a score of about 130, 140 on the board. But a score to work with for them. Vanessa Watts with ball in hand. Trishan Holder and the exciting Ebony Brathwaite at the other end. And talking about exciting, I'm joined by Kesrick Williams in the commentary box. Hello to you, Kesrick.
Yeah, good day, Stacey. You mentioned about the dot ball percentage, and I think it is something that may plague this tournament as we go on. Instead of seeing it coming down from Jamaica, it went up to an extra 2 dot balls. So this is something I think that the coaches need to look into going forward. The dot ball percentage.
Yeah, well, these two had a good partnership in the first game, Holder and Brathwaite. Nicely bowled there by Vanessa Watts right away, getting some purchase off the surface. That one just leaving Trishan Holder a bit, who loves to get room to go to the offside from what I've seen from her in that first game. But Brathwaite and her, they had a healthy partnership of 43 runs before that first wicket was taken against Trinidad and Tobago. Something like that will do well for Barbados in this match. With Arford, she gets it through the gap. Not timed well, so it won't get to the boundary, but she'll pick up 2 to open her account.
Yeah, classy player is Holder. One of the few players in this tournament that you will see cut, sweep, and ramp the ball. I always mention, even since last year, I think she have too much shots and she wants to play all of them at once.
Just driving that one. And we saw that a lot from her in that first innings. She managed to score 16 of 20 deliveries. She hit the fielders a lot, played a lot of really good shots, especially driving, but just wasn't able to find the gap. Can she do that in this innings? With Arford again, wide signal, just too wide there from Vanessa Watts. And her quarter of overs will be so important to Jamaica pulling off a victory in this game. She is the best spinner, you'll say, for them in this attack. Yes, you have Stephanie Taylor and Shadeen Nation, who rolls her arm over. It's one hitting straight to Waysome, who goes with her body in an attempt to take that catch, and they'll pick up 2 more. Should have made a better effort by the way the hands are on the hips by the fielders in the field. That brings the over to an end. The first over, 5 runs coming from it. They are 5 without loss at the end of the first. No, in fact, there's another ball remaining because there was a wide in the over.
Something that is very important for Jamaica is how they go about that second phase of the game, bowling between that 6 to 15 overs. Most teams so far, it's only the second day, but most teams so far have been stifling teams bowling spin. But definitely this time it's over now, Stacey.
Yes, and it remains 5 without loss at the end of 1 over. So it's important that the spinners in this lineup don't go searching too much for wickets. I think in that over by Vanessa Watts, just a bit eager to search for wickets in that first over and just erred a bit too much on the offside and got a bit of wide deliveries that Trishan Holder was able to put away, and a wide was called as well. So the pace we saw was very important, just slowing it up and hitting your area as well, because there's bunks and off as well as some spin out there for the spinners. Nisha and Waysome will open Nishan Waysome. She didn't bowl a lot last year because he had Chanel Henry in the team who took up the responsibility of opening the bowling a lot. So we'll see more of Waysome in this competition with ball in hand. She finished the innings well for Jamaica. Can she give them a good start as well?
Banging the money for Waysome. Just hope she don't waste any deliveries here in terms of extras. What Jamaica would want from her is to get an early wicket.
Yeah, that's what she can do. Look at the power of that delivery. With Orford and bang into the offside to open her account with a boundary. That's Ebony Brathwaite for you.
Yeah, that type of player likes room. Yeah, cutting it over point. Just one bounce into the boundary. She's that type of attacking player. Looks to maximize the power play.
And again, with Orford, an opportunity to free her arms, no deep third, and she cashes in back-to-back boundary, and Ebony Brathwaite is on the charge. We are seeing a young talent unfold before our eyes here in this competition.
Yeah, packed with power. Is Brathwaite opening the face? No third man there. And opening the face to get it over backward point. And that's the type of player she is. She likes wit. She usually tries to get Barbados off to a good start.
Yeah, this is not good bowling. This, though, is a magnificent shot off the blade of the young lady. Pure timing, and the execution is top class. 4 more runs, 3 boundaries in a row. I say it's not good bowling because she needs to be straighter. She's allowing her to free her arms. Oh my, what magnificent hands from the young lady.
Yeah, I'm just admiring the shot, Stacey, because it's the third delivery coming down somewhat on the same line, making the captain for Jamaica change the field for the last 3 balls. Yeah, this could be problems for Jamaica. She needs to be tighter on the line of the off-stop 3 boundaries.
Hacks across the leg side this time. Wilmot is there, so it's just a single. Young Ebony Brathwaite, though, just 16 years old, has a bronze medal in the Carifta Games for javelin throwing. So certainly a multi-talented athlete. We've seen a number of them emerge, particularly from Barbados. You remember Deandra Dottin, a strong hitter as well, through shot put for Barbados. Again, hacking that one across the line. Much straighter line this time from Waysome, where she needs to be. And you see Brathwaite just looking to throw her arms at it. An expensive over comes to an end, 13 runs from it. A really good start from Barbados, and they are 18 without loss after 2 overs.
I'm admiring what I'm seeing here from Ebony Brathwaite. Saw that in the first game as well. That type of batter, when she gets going, she likes to open up the offside because she's very good to the offside. Normally she looks to go over the infield. I want to see how she goes about playing against Watts now that she looks like she's in.
Oh yeah, this is big, this is high. Is it far enough? Indeed it is. You wanted to see how she's going against Watts Kesrick? Well, that's the answer for you. A massive stick to the leg side, and Ebony Brathwaite is in full flow.
Yeah, Mama, it's a really good shot. You could see she waits. She timed it nicely. Yeah, she looked for 6 the first delivery. Every single delivery, they're changing the field, Jamaica. Watts is now going around the wicket, hitting it through mid-wicket again for another 6, Stacey. Yeah, this is clinical.
She is gonna take her on. Full, it's in her arc, and it's roles and responsibilities, and we spoke about that. Clearly, Barbados has given the license to this young lady to go out and express herself, and she is doing just that. And it's giving them the sort of start that you require in this tournament, a partnership of 30 or 14 deliveries. We haven't seen this sort of start so far in the tournament.
Yeah, for a moment there, the feeler out there at deep mid-wicket looked like it was gonna fall short. She was under it. But we mentioned the wind factor here at the Arnisvale Cricket Stadium. Blowing across or going down to Micah Finley. She didn't time it, but this time for sure, this one has been timed. Yeah, straight onto the Macon boundary on that board down there. She's really liking what Jamaica is serving up here. Watts. She looks like she's a bit frustrated because the captain is asking her to bowl wide, Stacey.
Yeah, she also needs to slow it down a touch to Ebony Brathwaite. She was dismissed against the spinner in that game against Trinidad and Tobago. Brianna Haricharan was extremely slow, and she was sliding it onto her. Bit quicker again outside the off stump that time. That is the line that she wants her to bowl. Take it away from her swinging arc. But the pace again, it's a bit too fast. And Shireen Bonnet on the boundary, she has just been looking up and looking down and fetching them all the time. No chance, absolutely no chance. Once it's hit with such power through the offside, especially with that wind factor to the onside, I beg your pardon.
Yeah, she reminds me a little bit of Philo Wallace, that dasher for Barbados back in the day, played for West Indies as well. 31 from 12 deliveries is something that you would usually see from someone like a Philo Wallace, a Kyle Mears. So she's packed with that strength and the power, giving Jamaica a lot of work to do. Skipper and the most experienced player on the field having a lot of conversation. Williams and Taylor. Looking at Holder here, just want her to play her role. Just rotate the strike for Brathwaite.
Yeah, the plans are clear in this Barbados unit. This time around, last year they had, I don't want to say horrible, they didn't have a great tournament last year, but we are seeing the difference with the injection of Ebony Brathwaite at the top of the order. Trishan Holder playing a good foil to her power hitting. We saw that in the first game. Ebony Brathwaite, she was going great guns. Trishan Holder was there just hanging on at the end, which eventually they had a partnership of 43. Doing much better so far in this game. Selena White, the new bowler. They're desperately looking for a breakthrough. Jamaica starts with a wide. When you have that freedom by the team to go and express yourself, you go and you play your role. You don't have to worry about what the dressing room thinks. And Ebony Brathwaite, the young woman, she has that freedom and she is capitalizing quite well on that. Nicely worked there by Trishan Holder. She loves that width, timed really well. But good chase by Abigail Bryce to keep it to 2. So you see Trishan Holder, she is not trying to hit aerially. She's keeping it along the carpet, finding the gap, 2s on offer, running well between the wicket. This is good by the 2 youngsters of this Barbados unit so far.
Yeah, so you know, White with ball in hand, she definitely have to get it right. Because Brathwaite, she's not waiting. She's looking to dispatch any bad deliveries bowled by Jamaica.
Yeah, much better there from Selena White. Much tighter to the line of the stump. And any dot delivery now is precious from here on out.
Yeah, we mentioned the amount of dot deliveries the batting team is facing.
offers up some weight. She will say that she missed out there, Trishan Holder. There's no one sweeping on the cover boundary. Just had to connect. Selena White has to be tighter. Questions already for the skipper, Rashada Williams. Who does she turn to bowl that fifth over?
Still someone like a Nation, packed with a lot of experience. Driving nicely out to mid off. Just a single. So it's all about understanding your role here, Holder. You have a batter that is going great guns. You have to be that one now that is rotating the strike, understanding what your role is. Immediately a change of feel. Ebony is on strike. They're now employing that fielder out there on the sweep boundary, pulling up that third man. And let's see what White is going to do.
That's a good delivery. That is where you need to be. The bowlers so far have offered up a number of loose deliveries, too much width offered, especially to Ebony Brathwaite. Just try and be tighter there for a longer period of time because you see that she wants to play her shot. Bit short that time, not able to time it well, but gets a single to end the fourth. Barbados sailing along quite nicely. They are 41 without loss.
Yeah, another bad over for Jamaica. Just 5 runs from that over. Looking at the other overs that were bowled. Yeah, Brathwaite is gonna start the next over. She would be facing up to Nation, who's with ball in hand now. Still kind of dangerous, Stacey, because then Nation is bowling that off spin coming into Brathwaite, and then the wind is blowing down to the Michael Finley stand, so it's an easy hit for Brathwaite going to the onside.
Yes, but the difference now with Shadeen Nation is that she's going to be much slower, and we've seen in the Barbados innings that the slower you bowl, the more successful you are on this surface. Watts was just a bit too quick and a bit inaccurate with her line as well. Let's see how Nation goes to the young batter in Brathwaite. Starts a bit wide outside the off stump, called wide. So clearly they're looking to take it away from her, bowl it a bit wider to her. But I just love to see them slow it down a touch. The line of the off stump, I think you'll be in business there. Nation again. Yeah, that's not bad. Try and keep it there for a longer period of time with that slow pace as well. She is going to attempt to hit you to the onside. We see the power that she packs, but it can also be fraught with danger with that line and length. And the pace goes over the offside this time. So good selection there from young Brathwaite. So she's showing that she has shots all around the ground, Kesrick. It's not just through the onside. They're bowling that wider line plan to her, and she has the ability to hit it up and over the infield.
She's that type of batter that is sort of difficult to bowl to as well, Stacey, because the boundary that she hit off way some in her first over, everything went over cover or over point. But when Watts bowl, her off spin coming into her, anything that's coming down on the line of the off stump that is spinning into her, she looked to hit it over mid wicket, but this time it was a bit short into the pitch, cutting it over backward point. So it's always sort of dangerous when you're bowling to a batter like that likes width. But whenever she's batting that spin, anything coming down on the line of the off stump, she sort of open up that leg side.
Yeah, cognitively she's switched on. It's a simple game, isn't it? The ball is on the line of the off stump, she's gonna hit you there. If it's straighter, if it's on the line of the leg stump, I'm gonna hit you to the onside. It's just simple, a simple technique. She's backing it, and it's working out quite well for her. It's 1, simple lob delivery. This time, deciding to take that one to the onside. A lot slower from Nation, and that is what we've been talking about. The pace was her undoing. Slower on the line of the leg stump. That is where you want to be. And Brathwaite looking to take that one to the onside. Some bounce as well. And Vanessa Watts take an easy catch.
Yeah, it was slow this time from Shadi Nation into the pitch. We mentioned it. A different type of bowler. Watts was bowling with a bit more pace. Shadi Nation, who is a bit more experienced, played for West Indies, went into the pitch a lot slower. And it was Celebration City for Jamaica, a team that we're really looking at that's going to be good with the celebration. But Ebony Brathwaite is gone for 36. The score is now 46 for 1.
Yeah, 46 for 1. Definitely did her job. Ebony Brathwaite over to the other batters. Trishan Hole is now joined by Nigel Cumberbatch. And I must say, this young team of Barbados, you have the likes of Alia Alim, yes, but they are giving their younger players maximum opportunity. So I think last year Alia Alim opened the batting in a game for Barbados, scored 55 in that. But they are not tempted to go to that option because they have the faith in their young players who will carry the mantle for them in the future. And they are looking quite good, I must say, so far in this tournament.
Yeah, they're looking quite good, Stacey. I like the fact that you mentioned that because we still have someone like a Trishan Holder who captained the team last year. A fine player, just think that she needs some runs, have all the shots. Probably one of the few females in this tournament that you see that actually looks to ramp the ball.
A dead ball signal. The breeze is very strong. Blew the bails off at the non-strikers end. It gives you an indication of where you should be aiming to hit. You saw Ebony Brathwaite cashing on that quite well in this inning so far. Another young talent at the crease, Cumberbatch. Didn't get off with the bat in the first game.
Yeah, Cumberbatch, one of the, out of the three musketeers, I would say, of spinners for Barbados. Bowled 15 dots today. Even though she did not go below 20, she bowled her 4 overs for 21. But what stuck with me is the amount of dot deliveries that she bowled. It's the end of the over. The score is now 46 for 1. Selena White is now with ball in hand. The first over, it just went for 5. Sort of kind of slow things down for Barbados. The over before she bowled was one that sort of take Watts apart. She came and she bring back some sort of respect to the Barbados bowling, Jamaica bowling lineup, sorry. She's back again.
Yeah, she's back, and she earned a bit too wide in that first over. Yes, she just went for 5, but I think the last 3 balls that she bowled is where she needs to be to these batters. Started a bit too wide again. Dot delivery nonetheless. But I love to see her continue on the stumps, much like that. That is where she needs to be.
Yeah, that inward movement. Yeah, Trishan Holder trying to give herself some room to hit it through the offside. But it did a bit too much for her.
We saw Trishan Holder was dismissed in similar fashion, looking to give herself room to the offside and being bold in that first game, albeit a spinner then, a pacer here. He has those shots as well, ramps. Didn't get to execute it well. Fine leg was in the circle, so the shot was definitely on.
She didn't know where the ball went. And I think that's the problem with Trishan Holder, the fact that she has so much shots. She tried to play everything in one innings. Just need to be a bit more selective in terms of her stroke playing. Pick the right deliveries, know where your errors are in terms of when you want to ramp, when you want to go over cover.
I'll disagree a little bit with you there, Kesrick, in terms of her having a lot of shots. Yes, she does. And playing it in one innings. I think you should play your shots. I think the shot was on, and so far, she has not been dismissed playing any innovative shots. Where she does get in trouble is that shot right there. They managed to pinch a single, looking to give herself room to get the ball through the offside. Normally fraught with danger with the ball coming back in and straight to your stump. So that's where I've seen her gotten in trouble since I've been looking at her career. But her innovative shots seem to be something that gets her out of trouble and gets out of trouble quite well. She didn't connect on that one, but the shot was certainly on because the fielder was in the circle.
It's already 5 deliveries in this over, just 1 run. Giving some width again and then spank through extra cover. Yeah, bisecting both fielders there. Good way to end the over for Barbados. Cumberbatch latched on to that one. It's the end of the over. It's now 51-1.
Yeah, over pitching was Selena White and Nijani Cumberbatch. Room as well to free her arms. Just had to pierce the gap and did so with fine precision as she picks up a boundary to get going in this match.
Yeah, well played, giving herself a bit of room. That something that Stacey mentioned in the last over, because she is an offside player. Yeah, looks to give herself room more than half of the time. Something that I think that she needs to do a little bit more is sort of get into that cut shot instead of pulling herself away, if you can see that again.
Yeah, fair assessment there, Kesrick. I think the skipper was just telling Nation, try and get it closer. She loves room outside the off stump, Trishan Holder.
Yeah, this time pulling it along the ground out to deep mid wicket. I was asking to try get the replay of her cutting the ball. You can see that she gets into it, but on connection, she sort of drawing away. So she's sort of stretching to cut it. Yeah, finding the edge. Stephanie Taylor is not gonna make a mistake. That's the reason why she's at slip. Yeah, Nation slow into the pitch, trying to cut his Cumberbatch, but only finding the edge. Easy catch for Stephanie Taylor.
Nation with a bit of magic, the golden arm of Jamaica. Seeing her done this time and time again. I won't mention it, but against Windward Islands as well, I recall they were in a position to win the game and she came on and won that game for Jamaica. But here she is doing a job for her team again. Wasn't able to get a score today. Has picked up 2 wickets so far, and slow is the order of the day. It's walking a treat here so far in this contest.
Yeah, she's walking now with the whole nation on her back. And when it's not with the bat, it's with the ball. She was introduced. Take the wicket of the dangerous Bratwit, Ebony Bratwit that is. And now Kamabash is gone. Yeah, the score is now 54 for 2. In comes Asabi Kalinda. Yeah, this one is a bit slower. You could see that she's asking the batters to put power on the ball because she's not giving them that pace to work with, and she's staying outside the line of the off stump. Yeah, that one coming in nicely. Just another dot ball. But I like what she's doing. It's Shadi Nation. She's very slow into the pitch. And that's what experience can do for you. Hands on the head. Yeah, dot to finish here. Brilliant over for Jamaica. They're picking up their second wickets. The score is now 54 for 2.
Yeah, good start by Barbados, but Jamaica slowly clawing their way back into this contest off the back of Nation picking up those 2 wickets. Selena White has bowled 2 overs for 5 runs apiece so far. Has found her line to the right-handed batters much better. So far, a bit too wide to start, but she has since then adjusted and has been targeting the stumps.
Yeah, she's getting that inward movement, and we mentioned Trishan Holder looks to open up that offside, but it's a bit difficult to get it to the offside when it's coming in like that. Yeah, almost fall into the hands of Scott. Yeah, just dropping short, just a single though.
Yeah, that movement you speak about, that one, very straight delivery. Trishan Holder looking to turn it, and Scott so close to her, but Trishan Holder survives. So important now for Trishan Holder, who has a start, to just carry on, try and take this game very deep for Barbados. And that one just died on its way to the keeper. Kept low and was a bit wide, but because it died on its way to the keeper, Sabi Kalinda wasn't able to get back onto it.
Yeah, Selena White, not a great deal of pace, but she's that type of bowler that hits her line and her length. And this is not looking good for Miss Stacey.
Yes, went wide and kept going. A really good take though from skipper Rashada Williams, diving to her right.
You really have to take a look into the commentator's curse thing that's been going around. As soon as he mentions something good about a player, they tend to do the opposite. I'll try not to say anything moving forward, because that's the area that she's supposed to be bowling, and that's the area that she have been bowling from the last over. Getting that inward movement, it's a bit difficult to play, and then that added bounce. Just thinking, Jamaica captain, if you're getting that inward movement and the Barbados players are finding difficulty in scoring, probably ask her to continue bowling on the line of the off stump with that inward movement. Yeah, struck firmly down the ground. Would it get to the boundary? Definitely. Yeah, nice shot here from Kalinda.
Yeah, an excellent shot there from young Kalinda. Under some pressure since she's come to the wicket. Unable to score, but gets off the mark in style. Over pitching on that occasion, Selena White. And Asabi Calendar just planting that front foot and getting it past the right of Shireen Bonnet, who's had a lot to do so far in the field, just looking at a number of boundaries running away from her. Number of sixes flew over her head as well.
Yeah, again trying to go down the ground, but only finding the outside edge. Some work for Waysome to do. Yeah, ending the over with a single. Yeah, the score is now 61 for 2.
And Jamaica knows that in order to stay in this contest, they have to keep picking up wickets. 50 runs required, 72 deliveries. Still have some batting to come in the hut as well.
Well, it's Nation with ball in hand. Deliver 2 good overs so far, just 8 runs.
Taylor was warming up in the slips. I see her still throwing her arms over. Perhaps just reminding the skipper, hey, I'm here when you're ready for me to roll my arms over and bowl it slow, because she will bowl it extremely slow as well. Badly line, and she has done an exceptional job to get down there and sweep that. The timing was good, placement even better. Really good sign so far from Asabi Calendar.
She's that type of player. Skipper Williams just asking her to maintain that line outside of stump. Nothing on the stump. She's asking her. You picked up wickets with bowling the same line, just outside the line of the half stump, asking them to hit the ball on the offside. And nice touch, nice stuff from Calendar, just running it down to short third man. You mentioned about the pace that Jamaica have to be bowling with. Someone like a Stephanie Taylor would have a huge job to do with ball in hand for Jamaica, packed with a lot of experience. Even though that first delivery from Nation was hit for 4, she's really delivering a good over here. Just 5 runs from this over. Just 1 delivery to go. Trying to cut again is Trishelle. So Trishelle Holder is that type of player that anything comes down on the line of the off stump, she looks to give herself room to hit it through the offside. And with a packed offside, she's not really finding the gap. Someone like a Stephanie Taylor now with ball in hand would probably create a bit more pressure for someone like a Trishelle Holder. Anything that is on the line of the stump, especially on middle and leg stump, Calendar is looking to sweep, which is good. But someone with the experience, like a Stephanie Taylor, definitely will know what is required. Sweep shot again coming out.
You don't mind the sweep shot from Calendar. I think her selection has been good so far in this match. Sweep shots that she's attempted to play, the deliveries or on the line of the leg stump or heading down the leg side. So good selection so far from her. Taylor did bowl in that first game versus Leeward Islands went for 24 runs and picked up 1 wicket.
Yeah, this is the period of the game when a lot of teams look like they're being stifled in terms of rotating the strike or even getting boundaries. That middle phase where spin seems to be the order of the day between that 5 to 15 overs.
Now, one of the things that Jamaica, these two teams, the way they match up in terms of their bowling unit, have a similar amount of pacers, have 3 spinners, but Barbados, they do have that leg spinner in Keelia Elliott, and she proved to be the difference in the game today.
Yeah,
what they have, Jamaica, 3 off spinners in their attack, which traditionally is easier to negotiate for a right-handed batter. And I say traditionally because, any bowler on any day can pick up any batter's wicket. You don't have anyone taking the ball the other way. No left-arm spinners and no leg spinners in this Jamaica attack.
It's always important if you have that leg spinner. Yeah, looking to cut again is Trisha Holder, looking to open up that offside. Good over being delivered here by the experienced Taylor. She will understand what she needs to do. On the line of the leg stump again, sweeping his calendar. A White doing chase.
Okay, her shot selection continues to be good. Asabi calendar takes them up to 72 for 2 at the end of 10 overs, and players will also take a drinks break. We will take a break as well and be back for the continuation of this exciting encounter between these two teams.
Yeah, we're back here at the Arnisville Cricket Stadium to continue this encounter between Barbados and Jamaica. Barbados 72 for 2, way ahead. Jamaica was at 58 after 10 overs. Kate Wilmot is with ball in hand now. Not surprised that Nation is being held back with an over in hand. Kate Wilmot has a job to do here now. Realize that it's a bit easier to get away the pace. Spin is really the problem here in terms of the bounce, the turn. So a lot of players look like they're probably uncomfortable batting the spin.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they didn't just continue to bowl Nation and try and pick up another wicket. But Wilmot with ball in hand. That's a good start by the young speedster. These two should know each other well. Both played on the 19 World Cup together. Two players that are in and around the West Indies Academy A-team setup. Looking to be cute there, Trishan Holder, but not connecting. Don't think the line was right for that shot. And also, you have deep third and fine leg on the boundary. Albeit they are both very wide, especially fine leg. Get some bat onto it that time. Hoping that Wilmot can bring that much needed breakthrough for them. She started well so far. I know you might be excited yourself being a fast bowler, Keswick, to see this young lady really running and hit the deck hard.
Yeah, she's one of those fast bowlers. When you look at her at the warm-up, you get to admire her approach to the crease, her follow-through as well. She just needs to get her line and length right more often than not. Played in the World Cup for West Indies under 19. You do have a bit of experience. It's all about the transition now from the under 19 level to the senior level into the pitch.
Yeah. That era now will provide the opportunity for the players who are alert to it to take another single. Has some good wheels on her though, Kate Wilmot. Got on top of that nicely. I wasn't able to find the gap. Playing it straight to Taylor.
They're again probing on the line of the off stump. Into the pitch. I'm just wondering what's the mindset of Holder at the crease now.
Right.
15 runs from 30 deliveries. 16 that is now from 30 deliveries. She's with someone at the crease, Kalinda, who we know can hit the ball and would rotate the strike. But at this point now, Stacey, with the way how she's batting, the dot balls that she's accumulating, would that create some pressure for the other batters?
Well, I think if I'm Trishan Hole, I just continue to bat, try and pick off the singles. In terms of pressure, because the run rate required is less than 4 runs and over, they can afford to see off some good delivery, see off some good bowling, pick up the singles when they're an offer, put the bad balls away. So in terms of pressure, I don't think Barbados as a team, players to come like Alia Aline, saw how well Shamila Connell, Alison Gordon finished as well. And Shakira Selman, who perhaps favors herself as a batter, because she's not bowling in the team and has that experience and knowledge. I don't think there's any pressure right now on Barbados. You don't want, though, a situation where they continue to pile on those deliveries and then it becomes tighter and then someone looks to play a loose shot that ends up seeing a procession of wickets falling. So a partnership is being built currently. These two can continue to tick along the scoring rate, tick along the scoreboard. You select the bowlers that they want to go hard at. Taylor started well, 5 runs from her over, first over. So areas like that, Kesrick, I think you're talking about. Try and still find a way to get a single, get off strike. Kalinda hasn't faced a lot of balls for the last 2 overs or so. That is good there from Trishan Holder. Charging the bowler on the run already and realizing that it's good enough to get a single. So job done. Over to you, Asabi Kalinda.
Yeah, you don't mind the dot balls, but when you're getting 4 dot balls every over, that can somewhat create some pressure. Well played again from Kalinda.
Yes, and it can sneak up on you. You go back to that first game, Windward Islands versus Guyana, who was cruising it. And the number of dot deliveries that was piled up in that middle period saw the run rate going above to 7s when it was very much in control around 5 for most of the innings. Yeah, so this is good. 3 singles on the trot from these two. And that is all that's really required at this point in time. If a bad delivery is served up, then you free your arms and you cash in. But with the field spread, still 4 fielders out, especially with that gap on the onside at square leg. No one is in the circle there. So just turning the ball there is an easy single and offer in this over. Seeing the batters, 2 batters have cashed in just there in that area so far.
Yeah, trying to go over his calendar. It even see her trying to. She even elevated herself to try to get it over point, but just a singlet to end off things for Stephanie Taylor. The score is now 80 for 2. You mentioned it, Stacey. It's you don't have to do anything out of the ordinary. Yes, that's fine. But because the dot ball in this tournament have been plaguing us, plaguing each team, Barbados would like to reduce that. Try rotate the strike a bit more. You don't want to bring it too close. still 31 runs to get off 48 deliveries. You want those deliveries that's left to stay far away from the runs that is required. You don't want to get it too close, because then when it's close, you then saw that behind the 8 ball and you start to do things differently. And that's where the pressure sinks in. Yeah, looking to drive, just finding the outside edge. Just a single to backward point.
Yeah, and with these two youngsters in the wicket, it'll be a test of their temperament. The game is certainly in their favor. You look at the scoreboard, you know what you need to do. So can they continue to hold their nerve, much like they did in that first game, and just take it home for Barbados? Jamaica, of course, searching for a wicket. Kate Wilmot, she started well, just 3 runs from her first over.
Yeah, she loves some wit, is Trishan Holder. Like the fact that Barbados is still giving her opportunity at the top of the innings. I must agree that she is a fine player. She just need to get some runs behind her for now. Good technique. Yeah, nice. This is nice. On top of the bounce, punching it just behind point. Good stop from Stephanie Taylor. Yeah, the skipper is liking that.
Yeah, and as a young lady, you're looking back at this broadcast, I would say to Trishan Holder, that is good, learning on the job. She had a delivery similarly in the last over, similar shot, played it straight to Taylor. That time, just waited on it a bit more and getting it to the left of Taylor. To the right of Taylor, I beg your pardon. So it's good to see that these youngsters are learning on the job. And it'll only do well for her career and the rest of this tournament as well. Getting those opportunities at the top. Also remember, we have a 50-over contest to come after this T20 Blaze. We know how important spending time is at the middle. And this will do well for her confidence heading into that. But of course, we're here in the T20. And Barbados, so far, on top of things. Jamaica searching for a wicket or two to try and break this game open.
Well, it's never finished to the last delivery ball. Yeah, this time too short, cutting out to cover. The feel on the sweep boundary, not a lot of bat onto it because it was slow into the pitch as well. Just a single to finish. The score now moves on to 83. Requiring 28 runs for victory, Barbados. Just remember, Barbados is the only team so far that bat second and win on the first day of the tournament. Guyana batting first against Windward Island, winning that game. Leeward Islands batting first against Jamaica, winning that game. Barbados batting second against Trinidad. They're the only team that chase and win.
Yeah, I was wondering when they will make this move. Bring in Vanessa Watts from this end. She didn't start well, went for 23 runs in her first 2 overs. Young Brathwaite took a liking to her. But can she come here now, just slow it up a touch to these 2 batters and create some pressure? Healthy partnership between these 2, 30 or 40 deliveries. Equal enough contributions, 18 and 9. Well, 18 and 8. Sorry, Asabi Calendar dominating that partnership.
Yeah, probably the first time we are seeing Vanessa Watts being taken to the cleaners. did a fine job for Jamaica last year.
Use of the feet. We haven't seen much of that. And to great effect as well. As this one crashes into the boundary. Trishan Holder, really good to see her coming down the pitch to the slower bowlers. Good start to this over for Barbados.
Yeah, she haven't shown a lot of aggression. But she's there long enough. I think she understands how the pitch is playing now, so she can use her feet. Should understand the bounce, trying to give herself some room again to hit it to the offside. She's that type of player that likes to hit the ball to the offside.
Yeah, and she's bowled through her. Looking to get deep in the crease. And hit this one through the onside. Trishan Holder. She held out long enough, but she has to go back, and Vanessa Watts has a breakthrough.
Yeah, not something that we have seen for this innings from her, going across the line. Usually she comes back like that. She looks to play it straight, try to hit it down to mid-off. Yeah, it was slow and it kept low as well. Yeah, trying to go across the line. Yeah, only moves air. Is Holder. Yeah, but she has to go. She's gone for 23 from 40 deliveries. The score is now 88 for 3.
Yeah, skipper Alia Aline is in now. Her team in a comfortable position. She too is a player that loves room through the offside, but I must say over the years her shot selection is improving, and that will come with being in that professional West Indies setup. So can Watts go back to back for Jamaica? Something special like that is what they require with Barbados on top. Last ball in this over. Alia Aline gets off the mark right away. So 89 for 3 at the end of the 14th over. A lot to do for Jamaica if they are to claw their way back into this competition.
With this looking like a back-to-back victory for Barbados, pretty sure this is going to do a lot for their confidence. Nation is being introduced now. It's 1 over to go. Very important over for them. She can get a breakthrough here. This can be good for Jamaica. Skipper making sure the field is set. Oh, this look like it's trouble. This look like it's trouble. Good work there from Williams.
Yeah, she was out of her crease, Alia Aline, but wasn't quick enough, Rashada Williams, in throwing down the stumps. So she survives.
Yeah, pulling nicely over the fielder there, short mid-wicket. Looks like Abigail Bryce, not tall enough. Yeah, pulled with some power. Is skipper Aline.
Yeah, much too short. That sat up nicely for Alia Aline. And pierces the gap well also. 2 fielders on the onside boundary. Yeah, and this is good. This is really good. Getting inside the line of that one and working it. Selena White diving head first. Think they'll have to make sure she's okay. She is in some trouble. It did go to the boundary for 4. But oh my goodness, she dived head first for that. Her head hit the board. Really hope that she's okay. It's not looking good right now for Selena White. There's a shot again, getting inside the line of that one. Waiting on it. Really late. Selena White was giving chase. She didn't give up. Dove head first. And yeah, she's in some trouble there on the boundary. Oh, in her knee. Her knee was jammed into the turf.
Yeah, she went in knee first, stuck in the ground. Yeah, definitely looks like it's affecting her hips because her body did went forward. And when her body went forward, hit her chest. And so we're hoping that she's fine. Because it was intentional from Aline. Getting inside the line, flicking it down to fine leg. Short fine leg. She was doing chase. You will always hear from your fielding coaches. Always go on the side first. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. She went down knees first. And with the knee going into the ground. That sends some shock to her hips and then that chest going forward. You'll always hear from your fielding coaches when you're sliding, go down with the side first. We're hoping that she's fine. We will definitely keep you up to date because there's a stretcher on the field and this is not what we want to see on cricket fields.
Yeah, especially so early in the tournament as well. The second match that you're playing, you get such an injury. Of course, we're all hoping that Selena White will be okay and be ready for matches to come. Yeah, skipper Rashada Williams, right away she saw that her player was in trouble. She took off running in her direction.
Yeah, she definitely looked like she's in pain. Not something that we like to see on a cricket field, a player being taken off on a stretcher. She came here last year as well and sustained an injury with her ankle. She was out for a few games as well. Let's hope that she's fine. But it's good to see the Barbados physio and Jamaica physio walking around with her, making sure that everything is okay. Normally what you will hear from your fielding coaches is when you're going to slide, try to go down on your side first so you get piece of your bum on the ground. This time she went knee first. And when you're going knee first, because of your knees and according to your weight as well, it will always kind of stick in the ground.
Yeah, apart from that though, going back to the cricket, Alia Aline has come out and wasted no time in getting going here for her team. And I mentioned she is the type of player that likes room as well to the offside. Because Jamaica know her so well, you notice that those 3 deliveries were on the line of the leg stump. on the stumps, I beg your pardon, you notice that Alia Aline has cashed in on every delivery they've bowled to her so far. I mentioned that her shot selection has improved tremendously. So credit to the way that she has started. 10 off 5 deliveries so far.
And that comes with experience as well. Understanding what's your scoring areas. Yeah. Rocking back on the back foot and cutting it straight to cover. Easy catch for Watts. Yeah, that little break kind of spoiled things a bit for Barbados. Yeah, Jamaica picking up another wicket and another wicket for Nation. Yeah, not a big celebration from Jamaica. Yeah, curtains look like it's closing down here. Barbados in a really good position and walking out. Shakira Salman. Yeah, Asabi calling that she has to go. She's gone for 18.
Yeah, and quite reminiscent, quite similar to that first game Barbados had played Trinidad. Because of that fast start that they got, no matter what happens here from here on out, they are still ahead of the game, way ahead of the game. Credit must go to the way Ebony Brathwaite started for them. So it's a lot easier now for the players in the middle to come in, and they are allowed to take time if they need to. 30 now from 30 deliveries. At no point in time did the run rate jump ahead 5 runs per over in this innings because of that fast start. Yeah, just working that one nicely off our pads, Alia Alin.
Yeah, tucked nicely on to the leg side. Shakira Salman is at the crease now, and in the come box with me is Alanson Cruikshank.
Yes, good afternoon, Keswick, and good afternoon to all our viewers. Those in Jamaica, it will still be morning for you, so good morning to you.
Not bowling a lot is Shakira Salman, but she's with bat in hand and playing more like a batter now in the Barbados setup. Definitely need that sort of experience. Trying to get a singler because you're missing 2 of your most experienced player in Matthews, and Dottin. So with someone like a Shakira Salman in your lineup and Alia Alin both play for West Indies. Alia Alin presently playing for West Indies. Yeah, sweeping nicely. Could get 2. Shakira Salman played for West Indies.
Yeah, that sweep shot there just deceived a little bit by that second bounce, that spin, extra spin. But able to get something on it. 2 runs.
Yeah, hitting nicely down the ground. Misfield by Taylor. Another singler added.
Yeah, so they're just ticking them off. They only need 8 runs for victory. Barbados team. The only team so far in the tournament who have chased successfully, and they have done it 2 times now. So far.
Well, I'm thinking they have found the remedy. Batting second. Credit must go to Ebony Brathwaite. How she started the innings for Barbados, even in the last game. Have to call her name. Made 36 today of 18 deliveries. She started opening up the offside and then take a liking into what?
Yeah, one of the few players who been striking just around that 200 mark, especially against the Pacers. But then we saw Watts in that over was just bowling a bit too quickly, so that really favored Brathwaite, and she was able to take her apart.
Bowling quickly and bowling to her stump as well. Just 7 runs to go. To go back-to-back victory for Barbados. Only do good for their confidence. Pretty sure that Coach Roddy Eswick would be very happy with the way his team is performing. Slate Shakira Salman couldn't find a gap, straight to Waysome.
It's just either side of her would have been a boundary. The 7 needed to win from 3.4 overs.
Yeah, easy single, cutting straight to point. The fielder was sort of sleeping. Yeah, out of sleeping and then stealing a run. It's Mackenzie out there. What I really like about Alia Aline and this innings in particular is she came in knowing that her team is in a really good position and she played to suit. Yeah, finding the gap again is Aline. Will it get to the boundary? Running away. Willett is doing chase. Not enough. Yeah, finding the gap nicely. Coming back on the back foot. Finding the gap between extra cover and cover. Yeah, too much weight this time, Watts.
Yeah, just too much weight and a bit too short as well. Gave her all the time and the room to put it away. She found the gap expertly. On that occasion, takes her now up to 18 from 9. Barbados only need 2 to win. Scores level, Keswick.
Yeah, playing a captain's knock. Just 19, but is understanding what is required. She did nothing out of the ordinary. She played pretty smart. It was already set for her. Yeah, Shakira Selman advancing again and hitting it straight to mid-wicket. Yeah, the field at short mid-wicket didn't have a chance. Even Waysome, who's down there wideish mid-on, didn't have a chance as well. A diving effort from her. But good end to the innings for Barbados. This will only do well for their confidence. The only team to go back-to-back wins, Alanson.
So far, yes. And of course, you know, one of the teams that won yesterday probably will lose today because we know that later on, you have, not yesterday, on Monday, correction, on Wednesday, correction, or it will be Tuesday, we have Leewards taking on, and Leewards were very impressive in their first game, I would say. But what we're looking at here, we just saw a very clinical performance from Barbados. That's what you will describe it as. They had no hesitation upon winning the toss of inserting Jamaica. Knew they always wanted to chase. They chased successfully in match 1. They did the same today. The innings of Brathwaite was key. She really gave them that impetus at the start and that very commanding position. That is what they were put in by her once she left the wicket, having scored 36 of 18 deliveries, striking at over 200. And then the skipper, once she came in, she really just grabbed the bull by the horns. We also saw some of the young players, including Calendar, looking good at the wicket. So it's all looking good and nice and dandy, as we would say, for the Barbados team at this point. They would be disappointed. They would have been disappointed with what transpired in the last tournament, where they didn't perform too well. But I think having the experience of the skipper back and also the inclusion of Selman just to guide the youngsters a bit. They have a cadre of very talented youngsters, but the experience is key in order to just grasp the important moments of the game and to take advantage of them. So congratulations to Barbados, winning by 6 wickets in match number 4 match number 1 of round number 2. And at this time, we'll take a break and we'll be back at 2:30 for the second match of the day. And we'll see you here at Arnorsville.